All right, let's just jump right into it. We're going to tackle a really provocative idea today, one that kind of goes against everything we're taught to believe. Why the truth, by itself, might not matter as much as we think, and what powerful force actually does. We all know this one, right? It's a classic. It's comforting, it feels good, it's basically the foundation of our moral compass. The idea is that truth has this built-in, almost magical power to slice through all the lies and make things right. We think of it as the ultimate destination. But hang on, what if that very belief, that deep faith we have in the power of raw, unfiltered truth, is actually a weakness? What if it's a beautifully designed trap, meant to keep you from seeing how power really works? So let's start by unpacking this cultural myth. You know, the story we all tell ourselves, the one that paints truth as this superhero that's always going to win in the end. I mean, think about it. From fairy tales to our entire legal system, it's drilled to us. Just get the truth out there and the world will fix itself. It's sold to us as this pure, unstoppable force for good that doesn't need any help to win. But, well, that view is missing a huge piece of the puzzle. And that's what brings us to the hidden rule of power. This is the Machiavellian counterargument that completely flips our understanding upside down. It says that in the real world, the world of strategy and influence, just believing in the simple power of truth, that's a fatal mistake. You know, in the high-stakes game of power, think of the truth like cards in a poker game. If you just lay them all out on the table for everyone to see, total, unfiltered transparency, that's not a power move. That's strategic suicide. You're literally handing your opponent the exact weapon they're going to use to beat you. So you've got these two totally different ways of seeing the world. On one hand, there's the myth we're all taught, that total transparency is this great moral good, and it'll set you free. But the strategic reality, it's that information is a weapon. And if it's uncontrolled, if it gets out at the wrong time or into the wrong hands, it can be an absolute death sentence. The real power, then, isn't in the truth itself. It's in how that truth is managed. So this brings us to the key concept here, controlled truth. Now, this isn't necessarily about lying or making things up. It's about the strategic release of information. It's about rationing it, shaping the facts to build a very specific desired reality. In this way of thinking, truth isn't something you just discover. It's a resource that you actively manage and construct. Okay, so if reality can be constructed, who are the architects? Who's holding the blueprints? Who gets to decide which version of the truth gets the spotlight and which one just fades away? Well, it's the people who get the game. Effective leaders, the elite, master communicators. Basically, anyone who understands that true power isn't about having the truth, it's about controlling the flow of information. They're the ones shaping what you see, what you hear, and ultimately what you come to believe is true. Seriously, think about the most influential people in history. They didn't just passively report on reality as it was. No way. They actively shaped it. They knew that to lead people, you first have to lead their perceptions. You have to control the story, the narrative. So how do they actually do it? Well, it's not random, it's not by accident. There's a protocol, a playbook for taking control of the story and seizing the narrative for yourself. And it really boils down to 3 steps. First, you ration the flow of information. You never ever just dump it all out there. Second, you define the fear. You get to control what people are afraid of, which in turn guides how they react. And finally, you write the reality. You frame the story so powerfully that your version becomes the version, the one everyone accepts. For instance, think of a company with a flawed product. They don't release all the bad news at once. They ration it. They define the fear, not as our product is dangerous, but as customer safety is our #1 priority. Then they write a reality where they're the responsible hero by announcing a proactive recall. See? They've seized the narrative. And you have to understand, this is a race. It is a competitive battlefield. If you don't define the story around your own actions, your opponents or your enemies absolutely will do it for you. You either write your own reality or you're going to be forced to live inside one that someone else wrote. And that battlefield, it's not some far-off place where only politicians and CEOs operate. It's all around you. In fact, you're living on it every single day. This whole framework, it's like the hidden operating system running in the background of everything. It's behind the news you watch, the ads that pop up on your feed, the political campaigns you see. It's how public opinion gets shaped, and it's happening all around you, all the time. Okay, so this might all sound a little bleak, right? But here's the good news. Understanding this playbook doesn't have to make you cynical. It can make you smarter.
Awareness is your defense. Once you can see the architecture of how information is controlled, you can start to take it apart. You can start to think critically about everything you're being told.
So I'll just leave you with this one last thought to chew on. In a world where the most powerful force isn't just raw truth, but the story built around it, who's the architect of your reality? Who is writing the story that you're living in?